Yesterday, I did a video about healthcare costs in America and how I'd lower them. I also mentioned that I've been approached by several organizations and individuals suggesting that I run for office. And honestly, I didn't expect the reaction that I got from you guys. Not one of you said, "Don't do it, Stephen." Well, that's a good start anyway, right? Well, that video had fewer views than most, but more comments than the ones that had 1 million views. That tells me something, that people need change. I mean, we've always known that, but now I can really feel it. And the biggest issues that you brought up were term limits, pharmaceutical costs, healthcare, and lifelong welfare. These are big problems, and they all have one thing in common, and that's that they're human problems. So here's how I see it. Anytime you look at an organization for change or a company, the first thing you do is find waste. You don't raise prices or print money, you cut what's bloated. The problem with the US government, it doesn't produce, sell, or create anything. So the only thing it can cut is operational waste. And I think we can all agree that the government is massively bloated. Most of America's problems can be solved with common sense, believe it or not. It really is that simple. But too many people, especially politicians, they profit from keeping things very complicated. So before I'd ever argue left or right, I'd always ask 3 questions when facing a problem. What's the common sense solution? Who loses money if we apply it? And who loses leverage if it works? That's how we, as a nation, need to start thinking, in my opinion. Soberly, nonpartisan, and with cause and effect in mind. Who's impacted? Who might be hurt? And what's the backup plan once we make that change? Let me give you an example. Take pharmaceutical costs. Everyone wants them lower, but it's one of the toughest fights in government. And I know this firsthand. Years ago, I worked with Olivia Newton-John importing herbs directly from the Amazon rainforest. I opened her company in 6 European countries, and it got shut down. Not because it didn't work, but because it did work. The pharmaceutical industry used government regulation to stop us, and I lost an entire business because of it. So, I get it. I understand just how powerful Big Pharma is. You know what? We know they don't care about the little guy. But here's the truth. There's always a way. Acknowledge the problem, look at it honestly, and focus on what actually affects the citizens directly, their health, their finances, and their stability, and start finding real solutions in those areas. There's always a way to move forward that benefits everyone, even if it takes a little bit of sacrifice from both sides. So let me ask you this. What are the things that the government does that directly affects your life? Think about that for a second, because that's where we'd have to start. There's no point fixing the narrative if it doesn't fix your reality. If I move into politics, that's exactly where I'd begin, with what affects you immediately and directly. And if we can make Americans healthier, more financially stable, and stronger as citizens, well, then we can take America back together. Then we tackle the bigger systems of corruption and control. And just so you know, I'm not some raging millionaire with a massive campaign budget. So if I ever do, it'll be citizen leadership all the way. Real people leading real people, not politicians leading pawns. If you believe in that, I'm going to ask you to share this video. Post it to your story and write, "Would you vote for this guy?" or something similar, just so we get some feedback and see what your friends think and see what the people really think. Let's make this go viral if we can, because this is how movements begin. And hey, why not, right? Let's start a movement and take America back.